Hello and welcome into Tech Softball Park as we bring you ACC softball. It's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish coming into Blacksburg to take on the 15th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies here on 3304 Sports. My name is Shelton. My partner is Chris Longino. We're happy to be with you on a fairly chilly Friday afternoon here in Blacksburg. It is game one of a doubleheader here between the Irish and the Hokies. And Chris, as we talked about in the pregame, Keely Richard, the go-to girl in the circle for Virginia Tech today, who's had a really fantastic season and one of her best outings of the year last Saturday against Georgia Tech.
Well, last Saturday against Georgia Tech, she had a no-hitter, and it's her sixth no-hitter in program history, and it just shows that she's one of the best pitchers in the country, as she's an ERI of 110, and she does an incredible job pitching, and she'll be the starting pitcher for today.
Well, Notre Dame historically has dominated this rivalry, although Pete Demore, the current head coach of the Hokies, has not played against the Fighting Irish in his short career at Virginia Tech. But obviously, Chris, very one-sided, but both teams coming in with some momentum.
Yeah. Well, Notre Dame has a 4-game win streak, as Virginia Tech has a 3-game win streak, so both teams are coming in here hot. And recently, Notre Dame's schedule was their last previous 4 games are canceled, so we'll see how it goes between the Fighting Irish and the Hokies today.
Starting lineups coming your way in just a moment here on 3304 Sports. Back here at Tech Softball Park, the starting lineups first for the visiting Irish of Notre Dame, coming in at 22-12 overall and 13-10 in the ACC. Abby Sweet leads off. She is in center field. Emma Clark gets a start in right field, playing in the 2 spot. In the 3 spot, it's Katie Marino getting the start at second base. The designated player is Karina Gaskins, starting in the 4 spot. In the 5 hole, it's Leah Hanks in left field. Sarah Gintz is the starter at first base and batting in the 6th spot. Alexis Holloway on the circle for the Irish. She's the starting pitcher and batting 7th. Chelsea Purcell bats 8th. She's the starting shortstop. And over at the hot corner, Cassidy Grimm batting in the 9th spot, rounding out this Notre Dame starting lineup. Shelby Grimm, Cassidy's sister, will get the start behind the dish at catcher, although she will not bat in this order for Notre Dame. For the Hokies, led by head coach Pete Demore on the season, Virginia Tech, 15-4 overall, on the season, Hokies overall 28-7, 19-7 in conference play. They will go with Kelsey Brown leading things off in left field, Cameron Fagan at shortstop batting the 2 spot, Kana Davis batting 3rd. She is the designated player working her way back into the lineup. Jamie Bailey at the 4 spot starting at first base. Kelsey Bennett batting 5th starting at third base. The second baseman is Addie Green batting 6th. Batting 7th, Mackenzie Lauder is the catcher working behind the plate and catching for Keely Richard. Emma Ritter gets a start in right field batting 8th, and rounding out the starting 9 for the Hokies, Darby Troll starting in center field. Keely Richard, of course, in the circle for Tech, as has usually been the case on the season. Richard with spectacular numbers, as Chris was alluding to just a moment ago. Richard's stats on the year: 20-4, 1.10 ERA in 23 games started, 214 strikeouts to only 42 walks, and a 137 batting average against. Spectacular numbers for one of the best pitchers, not just in the ACC, but in the country. So again, Hokies looking for win number 29 on the season and win number 20 in conference play, and we are just about set to kick things off here as Richard will deliver to the leadoff hitter Abby Sweet for the Irish. Again, my partner is Chris Longino. I'm Shelton Moss with you here for 3304 Sports. An overcast and chilly, unseasonably chilly day here in Blacksburg on a Friday afternoon. This game was switched to a doubleheader due to impending weather looming tomorrow. So we'll play 2 today and 1 tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. Richard sets in the circle, and she is ready. She delivers the first pitch. It is a called strike 1.
Well, that was a good pitch from her. It was a strike right down the middle. Couldn't get it.
So leadoff hitter Abby Sweet, one of the best bats in this Notre Dame lineup.
Well, she has 19 RBIs this season alone, and she's done an incredible job having 5 home runs so far.
Batting .477 on the year, leads the team in that category. That's 12th nationally in terms of batting average. She smacks one high and foul out of the stands. 0-2 count.
Well, let's see how she'll do for this third pitch here.
So Sweet, on the year, leads Notre Dame in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, runs, hits, doubles, and hit by pitch to go along with it. So really the key cog in this lineup. Mentioned a moment ago, .477 batting average, 12th nationally, 1st in the ACC. She's very difficult to strike out. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and she will loft it high and deep to left field. It's tailing foul out of play, and it will get out of play beyond the reach of the left fielder, Kelsey Brown.
Well, she'll get another opportunity to hit here, and we'll see how she does with that.
On the season, Sweet has just 5 strikeouts in 107 at-bats. Very difficult to get the ball past her.
Well, Kelly Rocher is 20-4 with her record for the year, so, if she can keep this up, maybe she can strike her out.
0-2 is the count to Sweet. Keely is ready. She sets in the circle. Kicks and delivers. It's just off the plate, 1-2. Well, Virginia Tech is coming off a series win against Georgia Tech. They dropped the first game to the Yellow Jackets, but managed to come back and win the last 3, including a decisive 12-0 victory on Sunday. That 12-run margin of victory was the second biggest for the Hokies in a conference game this year. And they hit 5 home runs. Here's 1-2 from Rochard. It is just tipped foul, and she manages to live another pitch. Notre Dame, meanwhile, as Chris alluded to, coming in with some momentum. They are coming off a 4-game sweep of Virginia, where they did not allow more than 3 runs in any of the games. Their pitching staff, as we'll get into later in the contest, doing very well as of late. Here's 1-2 from Rochard to Sweet. She delivers, and it's smacked into left field. Going back is the left fielder, Kelsey Brown. She makes a catch just shy of the wall as she was on the warning track for out number 1.
Was the first out of this inning for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Let's see if they can get 2 more, and let's see if they can get the Fighting Irish out of this inning.
So that'll bring up the right fielder, Emma Clark. Clark's numbers on the season, .413 batting average. She's not hit a home run this season. She does have 13 RBIs. And she will smack one into left field. That's down for a base hit as she was running while swinging the bat. Brown will get it in, and it's a base hit single to left for Clark. First hit of the day for the Irish. Brings up Katie Marino, second baseman, batting in the 3 spot.
Well, that was a good hit from Emma Clark there. She got there to first well, and it was a good side hit. And as she's on her first base, let's see if the Fighting Irish with Katie Marino can do more damage here.
First pitch to Marino, as it is a called strike 1. Clark bluffed the steal to second base, decided to go back. So Marino out of Warren, New Jersey, product of the Pingree School, right-handed graduate student. She's actually one of 2 first ever graduate students to play for Notre Dame in their program's history, as the next one's tapped foul towards the screen. And she's able to do that because last year, obviously, due to COVID shutdown, the season did not count towards eligibility. So she is back for her 5th season in a career .299 average, 30 homers, 133 RBIs, making her 215th career start.
Well, this year alone, she has already 28 RBIs, and she has about 5
There's a pitch.
5 home runs.
It's a ball in the throw as Clark was stealing, goes into center field. So Clark will head over to third base, and she slides in safely. So already, right off the bat, runner at third for the Irish, and they're looking to make some noise here with just 1 out on top of the first inning.
Well, they could get a run here if Katrina Gaskins can get a good hit here.
Clark, that'll be her 20th stolen base on the season, and leads the team in that category. This one is lofted high, deep into left field. That will be enough to score the runner. Brown makes the catch going back. She gets the ball in, but coming in and tagging from third easily to score is Clark. And with that, Notre Dame has an early lead, 1-0 on the sacrifice fly from Katie Marino.
One more out, and then it will be changed for Virginia Tech to get a chance to score here in the same inning.
So for Marino, that will be RBI number 29 on the season, improving upon her team lead. And with that, Karina Gaskins steps up to the dish with nobody on, 2 out. First pitch is a ball missing inside. Gaskins, 338 on the season, the freshman out of Edison, New Jersey, Donovan Catholic School, leading the team in home runs. Next pitch in there, strike called on the outer half of the plate. But she is scuffling lately, Gaskins is. In her last 10 games, 3 for 23 with only 1 extra base hit. So trying to get her feel back at the dish. And now she did homer in her last game against the Virginia Cavaliers. Slugging .714 on the season. And she'll smack one foul our way into the screen behind home plate. 1-2 still the count. So because of that throwing error by the catcher Mackenzie Lauder, that should be an unearned run on the part of Rochard. Yeah. And indeed it is. So she won't be charged with an earned run, but still a run nonetheless. Yeah. Next pitch misses just off the plate. I'm sure Rochard wanted that call.
You know, it was recently unfortunate for Notre Dame. We can see that with now COVID that the previous 5 games, the 4-game series against Clemson and the game against Loyola Chicago was canceled, and that's kind of unfortunate. And, you know, getting off that rhythm, you know, messes up your schedule. And let's see if Notre Dame can really get back and bounce back today.
Here's the 1-2 from Rochard, swing and a miss. Kaylee Rochard, her first strikeout of the contest, and she gets out of it with just 1 run allowed on the stolen base from Clark. Came around to score on a sacrifice fly. And the Irish lead the Hokies 1-0 going into the bottom of the first. Back in just a moment here on 3304 Sports. Back here for the home half of the first inning as the Tech Bats get set to go to work. It'll be Kelsey Brown, the left fielder, leading things off for Virginia Tech, trailing 1-0. Irish got a unearned run in the top of the first.
Well, Kelsey Brown as an infielder, she has for this season 14 RBIs, and she is doing incredible with a 413 batting average. Let's see how she'll do against Alexis Holloway.
First pitch missed off the plate, 1-0 the count to Brown. Facing off against the starting pitcher for Notre Dame, Alexis Holloway. I'll get you her numbers in a second. Here's the 1-0. She thought about swinging, decided to take it. It's again off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes.
Your pitch, Kelsey, your pitch.
So the numbers on Alexis Holloway this season, starting in the circle for Notre Dame. Alexis Holloway, excuse me, I should say. Here's the 0-2. It's tapped foul, right off the plate. Make it 2-1. 10-6 record, 2.62 ERA on the year, and 88 1/3 innings pitched, making her 16th start of the season. About a 2-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio, and holding opposing batters to a 209 average. She also does some good work as a hitter as well. So, Notre Dame has the luxury of having 2 primary starting pitchers that are very good hitting as well.
Well, Kelsey Brown is a good hitter. She's an interesting background as she's from Haymarket, Virginia, and she went to Battlefield High School. And let's see how she does today.
Next one is tapped foul down the third base side, so it's 2-2. Holloway has allowed 1 earned run in each of her last 3 starts. That includes 2 complete games. She got roughed up in that 4-game series against Florida State, but other than that has been very stellar this year. Here's the 2-2 from Holloway, and it's tapped high and foul. It'll smack into the seats with a loud clang and become a souvenir for a fan for the time being.
That's a good souvenir. Thankfully, nobody got hit there.
Count remains 2-2. Holloway, the 2018 All-ACC freshman team selection, also made the second team that season. She swings, and it's a tapper. Ground ball to the second baseman. That's Cade Marino. Fires over to first easily in time for the first out of the inning.
Well, first out of the inning. Now let's see if shortstop Cameron Fagan can came up and leave off where Kelsey Brown was. She has a 404 batting average and has 11 RBIs this season, 2 home runs. And let's see if she can do well. She's a left hitter.
Well, Fagan has really had a stellar season, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
First pitch is evidently off the plate. That was close. 1-0 the count.
Well, she's a freshman out of Dunedin, Florida, so she's got a long drive from where she is. So being down here in Blacksburg, Virginia, must enjoy the cold down here.
It was certainly impressive for a freshman to come in and hit 4-4 in her first collegiate action. 2 homers, 11 RBIs. She'll tap that one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking more about Holloway. Out of Crown Point, Indiana, Crown Point High School, the right-handed senior. Season ago had a 1.4 ERA, which was her career best. Not quite as effective this season. Next pitch in there, strike one called, outer half of the zone.
Well, she's from Cross Point, Indiana, so she's far from here. Being a senior, must be interesting during these times of COVID and the way things are. You wouldn't expect your senior season to be like this,
Here's the 1-2. It's tapped up the middle and past the reach of the diving shortstop Chelsea Purcell into center field for a base knock. So the Hokies match Notre Dame's base hit in the top of the first with one of their own. Cameron Fagan is the Hokies' first base runner of the afternoon.
Well, Cameron Fagan has been very impressive this season as she has 11 RBIs and 2 home runs. And just being a freshman just shows how incredible she is. And, that sort of routine of getting to first base is good.
Up to the dish steps Kana Davis, the designated player today. Davis comes in with a 4-game hitting streak. First pitch is high, ball 1.
Well, Kana Davis isn't too far. She's a junior out of Harrisonburg, Virginia, and very interesting. Let's see how she does today as she has 13 RBIs, 5 home runs this semester, and she has a batting average of .333.
The 1-0. Strike one called as Cameron Fagan thought about going to second, but she was bluffing over there. Hokies as a team, certainly no stranger to stealing bases. They do like to run occasionally. Here's the 1-1 to Davis, and it's smacked foul off the screen towards the Notre Dame dugout. Davis did not play at all last season with an injury, but she's back and ready to go this year. She actually missed the first portion of the season, still recovering from that injury.
Well, we can see she has a knee brace on there, and hopefully she's recovering well as she's getting through her injury.
Yeah, played a really limited role those first few weeks of the year. Swing and a miss there on the next pitch, and Kana Davis is set down on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Hollowell, and there are 2 gone here in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, let's see how Jane Bailey today is. She has an incredible season so far with 36 RBIs and 6 home runs here. Incredible. As she is a sophomore out of Scotts Depot, West Virginia.
And Bailey, really one of the veterans in this lineup. First pitch, a called strike, upper half. Leading the team in at-bats, doubles, and triples, along with RBIs with 36.
Well, she recently earned softball academic team, and she was when she was a freshman, she was all freshman team, and it's really interesting to see that. And with her, when she played in her 55 games, she started in the first base. 49 of them, she played 4 games at second base.
Off-speed pitch misses away, 1-1. And Bailey, one of the veteran mainstays in this lineup, making her 36th start of the season. One of 2 players, the other being Kelsey Bennett, to start all 36 games this year for Tech. Next one is tapped softly on the ground to first baseman. That's Sarah Gins, and evidently it was foul before it got to her. So we'll do it all over again. 1-2 with 2 outs here, bottom of the first.
Yeah.
Again, this is the first game of a doubleheader here on Friday. The third game of the series will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Saturday, and we will have that for you here on 3304 Sports. So 1-2, Holloway sets and delivers. It's a called strike 3, and she punches out Jamie Bailey. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Holloway, and she gets her team back in the dugout with a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the second inning here from Blacksburg. Back in just a moment here on 3304 Sports. Leah Hanks will lead things off for Notre Dame as we go 5-6-7 here in the top of the second. Fighting Irish with a 1-0 advantage over Virginia Tech. Keely Richard back onto the circle for Tech. In the first inning, she threw 16 pitches, 12 of which were for strikes. Again, allowed that 1 unearned run after Emma Clark reached with a single to left, stole second, advanced to third on the throwing error. Came around scoring a sac fly. First pitch misses off the plate as Hanks was looking to bunt.
Yeah.
Held back.
Well, Leah Hanks is one of the more veterans as she's one of the better players on the team, having 14 RBIs and 1 home run this semester. She's been doing a good job this semester.
.292 hitter on the season, 14 RBIs. Swing and a miss here on the next pitch, and it's a 1-1 count.
You know, Keely Richard is just such an incredible pitcher. She just gets people to strike out all the time.
Well, that is her forte on the year, Richard, with 214 strikeouts coming into the game, 215 now.
Well, she's 20-4 for her career, so.
Here's a 1-1, smacked into left field. Backing up is Kelsey Brown, and she's there in time to make the catch for the first out of this top of the second.
Well, that was a good hit by Leah Hanks as that's hit out into left field, and Virginia Tech was able to get the out there. And now number two for the Fighting Irish, Sarah Jens is hitting.
Jens making her first plate appearance, the senior out of Lakeville, Minnesota. 200 on the year, still looking for her first home run. Swing and a miss on the first offering from Rochard.
She has 9 RBIs for the year.
She has started 17, make it now 18 of the 27 games she has played this season. Before coming into this year, she had only made 6 starts in her career, so she's really seen a huge increase in playing time, becoming a feature of that Notre Dame lineup. Strike 2 called now to Gens, and Richard is ahead 1-2, or excuse me, 0-2 rather. Tech coming in having won 7 straight ACC series. Looking to make it 8 against a very solid Notre Dame club. Here's the 0-2 from Rochard, and it's just inside. It's 1-2. On the season, Hokies with a 1.78 team ERA, 15th nationally, 3rd in the ACC. Offense, not too shabby as well, but really got to credit Rochard, of course, for those pitching numbers. She's been the workhorse. Here's the 1-2, and it's lofted deep and way foul over down the left field line. We'll get past the Hokies bullpen.
Well, that was just right outside the field and creating another foul. Well, we'll see if Sarah Jens could really get her stuff together here and hit it far.
So far, Notre Dame hitters making pretty solid contact. Seen a few shots out to left field.
Well, they've been able to get, as they have already 1 run, they've been able to create momentum for them. So let's see if Sarah Jens can actually hit it out to midfield, right field, or left field. I've noticed that they've been hitting it out left field a lot, and Virginia Tech twice now has gotten them out in that area.
1-2 misses high and away. Here's the 2-2 from Richard. Sets in the circle, kicks and delivers. And it's tapped foul past the reach of the third baseman, Bennett. And we'll do it again.
Yeah. Well, that was a foul on the left side there, and it seems like that Notre Dame keeps trying to hit towards that left side of the field.
Again, 1 out here, top of the second. Irish putting together some pretty solid at-bats, making Richard work for everything. Gets a sign from her catcher, Lauder. Richard delivers a swing, and this ball is going to be placed perfectly into center field. It'll bounce on a hop in front of Darby Trull. Second base hit so far for Notre Dame, and Sarah Gens reaches for the first time today.
Well, that was a good hit by Sarah Jens as she got into midfield and gets the first bait for the Fighting Irish. As we see now that Kelsey Purcell is hitting for the Fighting Irish. She, for the year, is she's got 2 RBIs and 2 home runs.
Actually going to be Alexis Holloway in the dish. So Holloway, the 7th hole hitter. Pitcher-on-pitcher matchup here between her and Richard. First pitch to her. It's in there. Strike 1 called.
It's really interesting for a pitcher to hit.
Yeah, not something you see super often, but again, we mentioned both of Notre Dame's pitchers can really hit the baseball pretty well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Richard never really hits, but if you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, go far.
Here's the 0-1 from Rochard. Swung on, and a foul ball lifted high, well out of play.
See, it's that left side that they keep going for, and it's either foul ball or in the left field. Let's see if the Fighting Irish can be more aggressive.
Really, this is an extremely right-handed heavy Notre Dame lineup. Only 2 lefties in there. That's Clark and Hanks. Otherwise, everyone is a righty, so they're really pulling everything. Here's the 0-2, well off the plate, as Lutter had to reach out to get that one from going to the backstop. Now Holloway as a hitter on the year, not shabby. 256 average, 442 slugging percentage, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Here's 1-2, and it's going to be roped foul again. This time over towards Beamer Way.
Well, as a junior, she's finished with 109 RBI, leading the team as a pitcher, and just as a hitter, it's just kind of interesting to see this.
Here's a 1-2, well off the plate. Two now the count, 1 out here, top of the second. The runner on first is Sarah Gens.
Sarah Gens, she's 9 RBIs and 2 home runs for the year.
And the 2-2 from Richard, swing and a miss on a pitch that was high, well out of the zone. She sets down Holloway swinging, and for Richard, that'll be the second strikeout of the contest.
Well, Katie Richard is she's been striking out, second one of the contest, like you said. She just is an incredible pitcher, and just her ERA is just 110, and just shows how stellar she is.
So that'll bring up Chelsea Purcell, right-hander out of La Habra, California, in the Los Angeles area. First pitch strike called right down Broadway. I was going to mention there's lots of California flavor on this Notre Dame roster. 8 players from the state of California. And really, when you look at the history of their program, they've had over 50 come from that state. So it's really the most well-traveled state for this Notre Dame softball program.
Yeah.
Lots of talent in that state. Here's one lifted to left field. That'll bounce off the wall, fielded on a hop by Brown. Coming around, being held at third, is the lead runner. That was Sarah Gens, and checking in with a double off the wall, Chelsea Purcell. Now runners at second and third with 2 out. A little bit of a trouble late in the inning for Keely Rochard.
Well, they just keep going for the left field here, and we see Notre Dame is on second and third base there. Notre Dame has had a very prestigious program, as they've had 24 appearances in the NCAA tournament and 21 consecutive since 1994.
So the last batter in this Notre Dame lineup, Cassidy Grimm. Sees the first offering from Richard, swings and misses.
See, we see Kelly Richard just constantly striking out people. She can really get people to edge on there. Hopefully on the outfield they can get an out there so we can change innings.
Now Grimm is only making her fourth start of the season. Has 4 at-bats coming into this one. No hits. Next one misses high. So she is getting the start at third base. And her sister, the catcher, Shelby Grimm, again gets the start behind the dish. So both Grimms getting some action today for Notre Dame, led by head coach Deanna Gumpf in her 20th season. Here's the one from Rochard. It's in there, strike 2 called. Now 1-2, rather the count to the 9-hole hitter, Cassidy Grimm.
One more strike, and then that's an out for Cassidy Grimm there.
Richard gets a sign from Lauder. Again, runners at second and third. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch high. And Richard avoids any further damage as she strands runners at second and third and gets her team into the dugout as we go to the home half of the second. Notre Dame still with a 1-0 lead over Tech. They have 3 hits on the day. Hokies looking to get their bats going here when we get you back here to Blacksburg, Virginia. You are listening to 3304 Sports. Back here in a chilly day in Blacksburg, Virginia. Kelsey Bennett lead things off in the bottom of the second for Virginia Tech, trailing Notre Dame 1-0. Irish so far with 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. Hokies have no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error back in the first inning, the throwing error by the catcher Lauder. So Bennett will lead things off for Tech on the year, 296 average, 10 homers, 28 RBIs. Those 10 homers lead the team, slugging 694 on the season. First pitch is a called strike on the outer portion of the strike zone.
Well, Kelsey Bennett for the year, she's one of the more, since she's a sophomore, she has done an incredible job, as she has had 28 RBIs and 10 home runs for the season, and just shows really she's one of the benchmark players for Virginia Tech.
Next pitch misses high. Well, Bennett, though she's just a sophomore, kind of feels like a veteran presence out of Buford, Georgia, and Buford High School. Standing at 5'5", the right-hander. Really the biggest power threat in this lineup.
Yeah. Well, in 2020, she started all 25 games.
She'll loft this one into shallow right field, coming in to make the catch, but off her glove. Cannot make the play. That was Emma Clark over there in right field. That'll be a fielding error for Clark, and Kelsey Bennett reaches as the leadoff hitter for Tech.
Well, Kelsey Bennett there to not give up on the play and just get to first base was smart of her, just to keep following through on not giving up.
So mark that down as an E9 as it just taps off the glove of Clark. A little bit of difficult play as she kind of had to reach back for it. I wonder if the wind was a factor there, but that's a play that really, if your coach comes, you kind of expect that your right fielder has to make. Regardless, though, Bennett will reach, and she'll be subbed out. Courtesy runner coming into the game. I think trying to get a number on that. That's 22. That's Mejia Luco, out of Western Virginia, the freshman. Pinch running for Bennett. Maya Luco, beg your pardon. Out of South Lakes High School.
It's actually 15 minutes away from where I went to high school.
First pitch to Andy Green. That's called strike. Next one misses low. Almost in the dirt. Green, 362 hitter on the year, 3 homers, 17 driven in. She really had a spectacular performance in the Georgia Tech series last week. Batted .600 overall, 6 homers, 6 RBIs, 2 home runs, and a triple to go along with it. Standing as a left-handed hitter in the box. There's a 2-2 swing and a miss.
She had an interesting background as she's played ball for Orion Hunter Elliott and was coached by Larry Murphy. And she was a 4-time TCIS All-Conference player.
So the last pitch was actually a 1-1 pitch. Now 1-2 the count after the swing and the miss. Scoreboard was wrong. Here's the pitch. It's tapped over third base side and foul as it was hauled in by Cassidy Grimm, but she was well in foul territory. Green with her first plate appearance of the afternoon, batting that 6th spot, getting the start at second base. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss on an offering that was in the dirt, and Green is sat down swinging.
Yeah.
So for Holloway, that'll be strikeout number 3.
And we have Mackenzie Lauder coming up here now to bat for the Virginia Tech.
Well, Lauder, the catcher, again, had a somewhat costly throwing error back in the first that allowed base runner Clark to scoot over to third base, came around to score on the sac fly. And she will send one deep to right field. Does it have enough? It does not, as it hangs up in the air just shy of the warning track for Emma Clark.
That was an incredible hit out to right field, but unfortunately Notre Dame got there. It was close to being a home run there.
Well, she probably had about, I'd say 5-6 yards before that ball was out of there. First pitch swinging, very aggressive from Lauder, but she comes up just a bit short.
Yeah.
Emma Ritter now the hitter. An offering from Holloway, sails high.
Yeah. Emma Ritter comes out of, she's a freshman outside of Purcellville, Maryland. And she was a 4-year letterman, and she was coached by Sherry Hudson at John Carroll High School.
Ritter trying to snap a bit of a hitting skid. Kind of an excuse-me swing there. She did not go around. The ball was low. Ritter currently in a 1-for-15 drought, looking for her first hit in her last 3 games. This would certainly be a prime opportunity to get it with a runner at first, 2 outs here, bottom of the second. Here is the 2-0. That misses in the dirt, and it's 3-0 count. So Holloway falling behind the Hokies' 8-hole hitter. And if nothing else, if she's able to reach, that would at least extend the inning to next inning. You have 1-2-3 leading off the bottom of the third. Here's the 3-0. It's in there, strike called. And she finds the zone again.
We saw that Mackenzie Lauder was very aggressive hitting, batting there. And we see Emma Ritter's being more conservative with hitting that, trying to get the right pitch from Alexis Holloway.
Virginia Tech averaging just under 6 runs per game offensively. This one floated in there. Yeah. That was a bit of a meatball down the plate.
Yeah. You see Emma Ritter, that was her second time reaching in there, and it's been her second strike because of that.
So 3-2 now, full count to Ritter. 11 RBIs on the season. Holloway trying to work back from the depths of a 3-0 count. Here's the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. And that is another strikeout, the 4th of the day for Holloway. So she gets out of it. No score for the Hokies through 2 innings. Notre Dame leads it 1-0. Back in just a moment here from Blacksburg. As you are listening to Third 304 Sports, Notre Dame leads Virginia Tech 1-0 here in the early going. Top of the third, we go here from Tech Softball Park. Notre Dame leading the homestanding Hokies 1-0 as the Irish get back to the top of their lineup. 1-2-3 they go. Sweet leading things off for Notre Dame. 0 for 1, hitting .472 on the year. Flew out to left field back in the first inning. And sees the first pitch from Keely Rochard in her third frame of work. It's a called strike right down the middle. And she gets ahead of the Irish center fielder.
Well, Abby Sweet is one of their better hitters, and she's 19 RBIs to 5 home runs.
She has cooled off a little bit since that Florida State series a couple weeks back. Here's the 0-1, and there's strike 2 called. Well, Sweet, since that FSU series, she is 6 for 25 in 9 games played with only 1 extra base hit. So as good as she's been the entire season, she's cooled off just a hair over the past couple weeks. Still, though, really good career numbers, 367 career average, 14 homers, 92 driven in, making her 169th game started. Here's the 0-2, and it's lofted foul right over our heads and above the Tech Softball Park press box.
Hopefully that didn't hit anybody there.
Yeah, it's always dangerous, especially, I don't know what's worse, getting hit with a baseball or softball. I guess it depends on how fast it is, but that's a pretty big object.
I'd rather get hit by neither.
Yeah. That's why they tell fans, always be alert when you come to games. 0-2 from Richard. Gets the sign, looks in, sets and delivers. Another one swung on and hit foul down third base side towards the Tech dugout.
Abby Sweet being the first hitter for the Fighting Irish, she was named team captain last year, and she was named Player of the Week about a year ago before the pandemic on February 25th. And even though she's cooled off, she is one of their better players on the team.
Well, Sweet has fouled off the last 2 pitches. Still down on the count, 0-2. Righty-on-righty matchup. Richard delivers, and Sweet will swing, and it is tapped softly to the second baseman. That was Addie Green, makes the easy basket catch for the first out of the inning. Some soft contact there generated from Richard.
Yeah, it was a good hit, but, just down the middle of the field, and she couldn't get it, and the Hokies were able to get the out there.
So that will bring up the lefty. Emma Clark had a single back in the first, came around to score on the error after the stolen base and the sacrifice fly. First pitch. It's a bouncer in the dirt. Yeah. Starting off with a ball to Clark.
Just missed that pitch there. Just a little closer, and she would have hit that. Trying to be aggressive to start with.
Notre Dame 13-10 in the ACC this year. 1-0 pitch from Rochard. Again, this time it's off the plate low.
Emma Clark batting this time. She's been very aggressive, trying to get a hit early, not trying to feel it out from Keely Burchard.
Irish coming in having won 5 straight. The last 5 games as a team with a 1.00 team ERA. Very solid pitching and some good offense as well. Here's the 2-0. This time it finds the zone.
Yeah. Just being very aggressive there. It's her 4th time doing that.
Now, Chris mentioned earlier in the broadcast that they had a series against Clemson that was canceled the week before last. That was actually due to COVID-19 issues within the Notre Dame program. They had several positive cases as well as some contact tracing, so they're not able to play that. 2-1 off the plate.
Yeah.
3 balls, 1 strike.
So Emma Clark just very aggressive there, trying to get that bunt out to midfield there.
Irish currently sit 5th in the ACC. They are 4.5 games back of Tech for 3rd place. Several teams still vying for position at the top of the ACC standings. Florida State leading the pack right now with a stellar season the Seminoles have had. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it is evidently just off the plate, much to the chagrin of the Tech fans here in Tech Softball Park. And it's a 5-pitch walk for Keely Rochard as Emma Clark draws the free pass.
That was smart of Emma Clark, thinking with her head, not only in batting, just trying to get the first to get the Fighting Irish onto the mounts.
Katie Marino, who had an RBI sac fly in the first inning, steps to the plate for the 2nd time today. 1 out here, top of the 3rd inning. Notre Dame leads it 1-0. First pitch, a strike called upper half to Marino. Marino leading the team in RBIs with 28, walks with 8, and interestingly, she has the most sacrifice hits on the team with 8. No one else has more than 2, so she is a go-to sacrifice bunter, but in this situation, it doesn't appear that she's going to do that. Next pitch, a called strike for Rochard.
Very interesting. She's actually a graduate student out of Notre Dame, so interesting fact to find that.
Yeah, and I mentioned before, she's actually the first ever graduate student on this roster, along with teammate Chelsea Purcell. Again, that's possible because of the NCAA's eligibility rules for last year. 2020 did not count towards eligibility purposes. Next offering from Rochard. It's low. Ball 1 rather. Preseason All-ACC selection for Marino. 5-year starter, a team captain. One of the veterans on this Irish roster. Comes in with a 6-game hitting streak and a 5-game RBI streak. Here's a 1-2. It's lofted into shallow left field. Coming in to make the catch on the run is Kelsey Brown. She had to hustle to get that one, but she makes it in time for out number 2 as Marino is set down. And the Irish, that'll bring up Karina Gaskins, the 4-spot hitter for Notre Dame.
Well, Kelsey Brown had a hustle there and really got for that ball to get the out over there in the left field.
Well, certainly Brown has been very busy over there in left. That's the 3rd putout she's had so far. 2 gone now. The runner first is Clark. And the batter is Karina Gaskins. Running on the pitch, trying to steal second is Clark, and she is thrown out. Emma Clark nabbed on the bases.
Emma Clark was now there. What an incredible play by the Hokies there, getting them out in second base. Just really puts the effort in the hustle to switching the Indians so the Virginia Tech Hokies can hit.
Clark thrown out for just the 5th time this season, and the Hokies will look to get the bats going in the bottom of the 3rd. Notre Dame still leading Tech 1-0. Back in just a moment here from Blacksburg. 9-1-2 go the Hokies as we start the bottom of the 3rd here in Blacksburg. Notre Dame leading by the slimmest of margins, 1-0 advantage over Tech. And leading things off for Hokies in this frame, Darby Troll, the center fielder. On the season, Troll being one of the Tech's most productive players. 270 average, 15 RBIs. Swings and misses, though, in the first pitch. Preseason All-ACC selection for Troll. Still trying to get into the groove of things as her numbers this year aren't quite what they've been in seasons past. Here's the 0-1 from Holloway. She delivers. It is tapped right to Holloway, and she snags it with the glove. Fires over to first base to Sarah Gens in time for the first out of the inning. Very quickly set down Troll.
Well, it was very instinctive for Alexa Holloway to really grab that ball and then get it to first base to get the out for the Fighting Irish.
That'll bring up Kelsey Brown again, the leadoff hitter.
Well, Kelsey Brown, being one of the more veterans of this team, has even 14 RBIs. Let's see how she hits in this pitch.
First offering. She looked like she wanted to swing on it. She held back, though.
Yeah.
What was a ball?
She seems like she hesitated there.
Brown is really a big threat on the base pass if she can get on. 23 stolen base attempts, and she has not been thrown out a single time. So she's batting 1,000 in terms of stealing. Next pitch is in the dirt. 2-0. Leading the team, Brown is in batting average at .413, runs with 35, and hits with 45. Transfer from JMU, came to Tech after the 2019 season. Here's the 2-0, and it just catches the bottom portion of the zone. Brown standing as a left-handed hitter in the box, facing off against the righty Hollowell, who's really been very efficient today. 39 pitches now, 27 strikes for Hollowell. Here's a 3-1. It's bunted towards the third base side, and it will just trickle foul. Well, she had first base stolen if she could have gotten that ball to stay fair, but it did not, and she'll have to go back to the box.
You know, she's trying to, and when she hesitated there, she was trying to bunt it, so we know what she's thinking now. So we know what her plan is.
2-2 is the count to Brown. Infield playing in. Very in. Third baseman is almost halfway down the line. And she will let that one slice off the plate. A fluttering ball there just kind of tailed off at the end. 3-2 now. Full count to Brown. Here's a payoff pitch. It's smacked right back to Hollowell on one hop. She fires over to first, not in time. Kelsey Brown beats out the throw. It's an infield single for the Hokies, their second hit of the day.
Well, Kelsey Brown sprinted it there, and she really pushed herself to get to that first base.
Showing off that elite speed. We mentioned how good she is at stealing bases this year. That was another example of her speed. And that ball was really kind of hit fairly hard. It took a tough hop. And Notre Dame's head coach, Gianna Gump, coming out to dispute the call with the first base umpire. Gump in her 20th season with Notre Dame. I think, in all honesty, that looked pretty close. I would have said out with my naked eye, but of course the umpire probably had the best view in the stadium.
Well, it was a big debate there, and we'll have to go with what the umpire says.
So Kelsey Brown will remain on first base with one out here in the bottom of the third, and that'll bring up Cameron Fagan. Had a single back in the first. Really, if you can generate offense any way you can, that's a prime example of using speed to your benefit.
Well, she constantly steals bases, so she has a way of thinking.
Thought about going that time, but Cameron Fagan takes the pitch, and Brown will retreat back to first base. Certainly Notre Dame has to be aware of that.
We can see that Virginia Tech keeps trying to bunt the ball so they can get to first base and then get Kelsey Brown to second base there.
Fagan sets in. She taps one to the shortstop. They go the easy way to second base. Play was made by Chelsea Purcell. Got the ball to Marino, so they get the force out at second. Now 2 out here in the third inning for Tech as Brown is set off the base pass, and that'll bring up Candace Davis.
Yeah. Candace Davis for the season has 13 RBIs and 5 home runs, and, just see how she does on batting here.
Mark it down as a 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Davis struck out swinging in the first inning. First pitch from Hollowell is an excuse me swing. She did go around, and running on the pitch is Cameron Fagan, a very alert move there from the Hokies shortstop, and she manages to swipe second base.
Yeah. Well, Candace Davis played in her freshman year 29 games, starting 50 in them, and on the outside, and 10 as the designated player.
So Davis now with a runner in scoring position, an opportunity to drive and a run. Next pitch, sails low. Virginia Tech as a team actually very effective with runners in scoring position, hitting .336 with RISP. Actually much higher than their team batting average, so they have a penchant for getting hits in the clutch. Fagan, the runner at second. Here's the pitch.
Ooh.
And it looked like it almost hit her. Evidently did not, as it came in high and tight. So just a ball, 2-1 now. Davis kind of reach out to get out of the way of that one.
That would have been a scary pitch if it hit her there. Been very painful.
Alexis Holloway looking at her card on her forearm. Delivers the pitch. It's low and away. And with that, her catcher, Shelby Grimm, will have a meeting in the circle to chat with her a little bit as she's lost command just a bit, falling behind Kana Davis 3-1.
Trying to find a strategy in order to get Kana Davis out this inning.
Holloway does give up walks occasionally, 49 so far in 88 and a third innings. Kana will rope one foul down the left field line.
We can see Kana Davis being a little more aggressive than the previous two pitchers as they were trying to bunt it.
So 3-2. Payoff pitch from Holloway to Davis. Fagan, the runner at second, 2 outs here, bottom of the third. She kicks and delivers. It is a ball. Kana Davis, a tough take. She manages to draw the base on balls, and she'll head over to first now, extending the inning.
It seems that is Virginia Tech's strategy, as they saw Notre Dame do that earlier. And now they've had two players with Kelsey Brown and Kana Davis getting on to first.
That'll bring up Jamie Bailey, the third baseman.
You know, you can probably tell Virginia Tech is trying to load the bases to get a far hit, and then they can get a few runs in.
Bailey, the team leader in RBIs, taps one foul off the plate and over to the backstop. Preseason All-ACC selection. Mentioned earlier, she's one of only 2 players this year to start all 36 games for the Hokies this season, the other one being Kelsey Bennett. Had a really spectacular performance. And actually, right now we're going to get another courtesy runner here. Try to get the number on it.
Well, as she is one of their better players, she is also one of their smarter players, as she was a softball academic team for the ACC.
Rebecca Ludwig will be the pinch runner, freshman out of Ashburn, Virginia, Rockridge High School. So she will come in to pinch run for Davis over at first base. That's because Davis, again, is still coming back from the injury, so they don't really want her running around too much. Here's a pitch. It is just inside. Tough take there, again, for Bailey, but she holds it all the way in, and it's a 1-1 count. So Ludwig, the runner at first, and Fagan, the runner at second. Here's the 1-1, sails in there, and off the plate somehow. Holloway wanted the call. The home plate umpire did not give it to her. Here's a 2-1, swing and a miss on a pitch that was low and away, tailing off the plate. Bailey really all fooled right there. She was looking to make it a 3-1 game.
She's trying to hit it on the outfield so she can get people on the first and second base to get a run here, or maybe even a home run.
The 3-1 from Holloway. It is a check swing, rather the 2-2, excuse me. She did go around. The ball was misplayed by the catcher, but they throw it over to first in time to set down Jamie Bailey on strikes for the second time today. So again, Holloway strands runners on base. She gets out of the inning with another clean frame as Tech goes into the top of the fourth, trailing 1-0. Back in just a moment here from Tech Softball Park as Notre Dame looks to extend upon their lead. Well, so far, Notre Dame has set down this Virginia Tech lineup. Impressive pitching performance from Alexis Holloway has the Irish in the lead as we start the top of the fourth here from Tech Softball Park, 1-0 in favor of the visiting Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And the leadoff hitter is Katrina Gaskins in the 4th spot today, struck out in the first inning, and the first pitch from Keely Rochard is a strike for Rochard. That is pitch number 53 on the afternoon, and strike number 38. Here's the 0-1. It's a check swing. They appealed to the first base umpire, and Gaskins did not go around. She held up the bat. 1-1 count. Next one misses inside. It's 2-1. Rochard only 1 walk so far in the afternoon compared to 3 strikeouts. Has allowed 3 hits, which is fairly uncharacteristic, but again, a very solid hitting Notre Dame team. I'll get you their offensive stats in a moment.
Well, Karina Gaskins, in over her career, she's had 113 hits and 112 runs scored, 139 RBIs, and then 63 doubles and 11 bases stolen over 3 seasons with the Fighting Irish.
Called check on the next offering, 2-2. Here's Rochard looking to Gaskins. She gets a sign from Lauder. She kicks, winds, and delivers. It's a swing and a miss on a ball that evidently was foul tipped. It got to the backstop, but Gaskins did make contact with it, so we'll do it over.
Well, Keely Rochard, being one of the better pitchers in the country, she really is aggressive with the way she's been pitching today.
Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed on a pitch that was high. Rochard gets a strikeout, her 4th of the afternoon, and Gaskins is set down swinging for the 2nd time today. I bring up Leah Hanks, the left fielder, 0 for 1 with a fly ball out to Kelsey Brown that nearly reached the warning track back in the 2nd inning. The pace has picked up considerably. Pretty fast-moving ball game so far, already top of the 4th here, only about an hour in. First offering to Hanks, who was looking to make a running bunt attempt. It's a strike called.
Well, I mean, as soon as this game over, it goes straight into the other one, which is an interesting thing as being a doubleheader.
And we certainly do anticipate that Rochard will not pitch the 2nd game of this doubleheader. Probably too much work. And right there, Hanks will smack one off the leg of Rochard. It's fielded by the 3rd baseman, Bennett, who throws it over to first in time for the out. But the primary concern right now is the health of Keely Rochard. She took a line drive, I think, off the leg. And they're checking her on the circle to make sure she's okay, as the umpires will come out and the infield will meet at the circle. Now the trainer for the Hokies going to come out to have a look.
Well, that ball went straight at her leg there, and she seems in pain there. The way to take that is it takes real true character to get over an injury like that. She's been pitching today.
I believe that's Kristen Mathis, the trainer for the Hokies, coming out to check on her, and it appears that Keely Rochard says, "I'm fine, I'm ready to go," and she's just going to try to walk it off, take a couple of warm-up pitches, but certainly it's a very big concern because really for the Hokies, Keely Rochard, obviously their entire team.
Having one of your best players out, never a good thing. Virginia Tech being 15th ranked in the country in 29-7 really shows that they've been doing well, and they've won 7 straight series against people, and they want to keep that up against the Notre Dame. And let's see if they can do that in the series against them.
So the batter is Sarah Gins, first baseman. She is 1 for 1. Reached on a single in the 2nd. Rochard kicks and delivers. Pitch is down and in.
You know, Sarah Gins, as a junior in 2020 before the pandemic, the 4 games in the Mary Nutter Classic, she batted a 4.9, 0.429 3-bat average, including a triple in that series.
The 1-0 finds the top portion of the strike zone. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
We can see.
Next offering, a called strike, and she gets ahead 1-2. Notre Dame so far is a team 3 for 12 hitting. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Still trying to figure out the Hokies pitcher. Here's a 1-2 with 2 outs from Richard, and it is smacked our way right off the top of the screen behind home plate.
Yeah, we don't want that ball coming back here and smacking on the ground. Would make a big oomph there.
I actually had a crazy story from the Tuesday game against VMI. We had a ball that went right over, a foul ball that went right over the screen behind home plate and literally smacked right in front of the glass in front of us in our booth in the press box. In one of the later innings of that game, it was a situation where my life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 swing and a miss from Rochard, and she gets through another inning. Second strikeout of the inning, and on the day, number 5 for Keely Rochard.
For Keely Rochard to pitch through that and get a strikeout there, fight through an injury, shows how incredible she is.
Hokies want to get to the bats going here and awaken them from a deep slumber. 5, 6, 7 coming your way here in the bottom of the 4th. Back in a moment here on 3304 Sports. Kelsey Bennett lead things off for Virginia Tech as we go to the home half of the 4th inning. Hokies still looking for their first run of the contest. They have been held to just 2 hits from Alexis Holloway, who on the day with 56 pitches, 36 strikes, 2 hits, 3 innings, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Very impressive performance from Holloway as she delivers off the plate first pitch ball to the Hokies' third baseman Bennett.
Well, Alexis Holloway today, she's had incredible pitching, keeping the rotation for Virginia Tech in check, and she's been striking them out left and right.
Here's the 1-0. She delivers, misses low and away. Bennett, the team leader in slugging percentage, as we previously mentioned, 10 home runs, leads the team, really the biggest power threat in this lineup. Next offering, off the plate again. She has 14 multi-hit games. No one else on the team has more than 8, so really productive each and every outing. Coming in with a 6-game streak of reaching base safely at least once. Also had a very productive series against the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech last weekend. Here's the 3-0 to Bennett. It's in there, strike 1 called. Really you can tell Holloway pitching careful to Bennett.
Well, Bennett is leading. Kelsey Bennett is leading the Hokies with 10 home runs for this series for this season. So you just got to be careful, just trying to pitch correctly.
Bennett will sky one to shallow center field. Coming in to make the catch with 2 hands is Abby Sweet, and Bennett is set down after getting ahead 3-0. Holloway comes back to get the fly ball out. That'll be the first out of the inning.
Well, Kelsey Bennett hit it out in the middle of the 3rd there. Was smart there because she has 28 RBIs for this season, as she's one of their more aggressive hitters for the Virginia Tech Hokies.
That'll bring up the lefty, Addie Green. Struck out swinging in the 2nd. Looking for her first hit. First one off the plate. 1 ball, no strike.
Oh.
3 homers, 17 driven in on the year for Addie Green, wearing number 26.
Well, we see a lot of the freshmen with Virginia Tech, as she's from Suffolk, Virginia. You know, it really shows that some of these players are very good, that Virginia Tech is very sophomore and freshman-oriented team in their starting lineup.
Really just shows you the depth in this team and the job that Coach Pete DeMore in his 3rd season with the Tech program has done recruiting. 2-0 to Green, and it just misses low.
Yeah. I mean, he's really turned this program around, you know, he's done an incredible job, being the 15th ranked team in the nation.
Talking about the job that Pete DeMore has done overall, 96-22 with the Hokies. 2019 ACC Coach of the Year has really turned this program around quickly. 3-0. It's a bouncer in the dirt, and drawing the base on balls is Addie Green, and she will stride over to first. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th as Mackenzie Lauder steps to the dish.
Yeah. Well, Well, for Pete Demore, it's just it's going to be interesting. His first time ever playing against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So we'll see how the series goes for him. This is new for him, even though he has been doing well so at Virginia Tech so far.
First pitch, a strike called to Lauder, the catcher. Flew out to right field in the second. Notre Dame leads the all-time series in Blacksburg 8-3. They won the last meeting between these two squads in 2018. That was a 2-1 series victory. Overall, they've won 14 of the last 15. Just complete domination. But again, as you said, Chris, Demore has not faced his team, so it's really hard to say. You can't use the past history to indicate what's going to happen in the future, because this is a totally different Tech team than what we've seen in the years past.
Yeah, and this is a different Notre Dame team from past, too. We will see what Pete Demore can do against them. Or could he repeat history or change history,
1-1 the count. Holloway delivers. Running on the pitch is the runner. That's Green, and she slides in. No, she's actually going to be tagged out, so she is nabbed trying to steal second. A rare caught stealing there for Addie Green, and the Hokies now with the bases wiped clean.
Well, for Addie Green to try and steal a base there in between a hit really just shows that she was willing to take that risk, and unfortunately failed, but sometimes you got to take them.
So now bases empty, 2 on count to Lauder with 2 outs. And she'll see that one sail inside. So for Green, that'll be her first caught stealing of the year. She is now 3 for 4 trying to swipe bags. Next one is too low. And again, another walk issued by Holloway. That's her third of the game. Really just struggling with command. We've seen her the past couple innings. Thankfully, that stolen base helped her a lot. But again, a 2-out free pass. Not exactly what you want at this stage.
Yeah. It seems that Virginia Tech's batting crew is taking advantage of Alexis Holloway, and they keep getting to first there. And if they can just keep getting to first, maybe you can get some rotation, win this game.
First pitch to Darby Troll, rounding out the Hokies lineup. Excuse me, Emma Ritter, I should say, in the 8th spot.
Yeah. Would have seen routinely as Virginia Tech is trying to reach in there so they can get Alexis Holloway off with her pitching.
Ritter again trying to break out of a skid. No hits her last 3 games. Another one misses low and in. So now we've seen 5 balls of the last 6 pitches for Holloway. And with that, Deanna Gumpf will come out to the circle to have a little chat with her thrower, as she has started to lose her command recently.
Emma Ritter, just being a little down on herself, just not doing as well recently. She has had a good season so far with 11 RBIs and 2 home runs, but she can just get back to things. She's when she was in high school, she was a 4-time All-Conference, All-Region, and 4-time All-Metro pick, and she comes out of Percival, Maryland, and coming from Maryland down here is interesting.
Well, Holloway on the year averages about 4 2/3 innings pitched per appearance, so she's getting close to that right now here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 is just high. Another tough take there for Ritter, but we've seen Tech hitters lots of really good approaches at the plate. They're really not swinging at anything outside the zone. Here's the 3-0. That one floats in. It's a strike one call, top half of the zone.
It's close to a ball. A little bit debatable today, with that reaching.
3-1 is the count. The runner on first is Mackenzie Lauder. There are 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th, Hokies trail 1-0. Still looking to get the bats going. Here's the 3-1, and it's low, ball 4. So the 3rd free pass of the inning issued by Holloway. And that'll get Darby Troll up to the plate.
I think between innings, Virginia Tech, Pete Demore probably spoke with his players and said, reach in there and take advantage of Alexis Holloway, because they keep getting to that walk with those 4 balls each within the last 2 innings.
So it looks like Coach Demore might make a lineup change here. I'll try to get that information relayed to you as soon as we can. So it's going to be a pinch hitter, Meredith Slaw, pinch hitting in favor of Darby Troll. Slaw on the season, making her 12th appearance. She started 7 games, 4 for 21. The 190 batting average. 1 home run, 9 RBIs. First pitch is skied high to deep center field. It's back, and it's going to be caught at the warning track by Abby Sweet, about 4 or 5 yards in front of the wall. A near miss there from Meredith Slot, and the Hokies again strand 2. They've stranded quite a few base runners today as we go to the top of the 5th with the same score we had at the bottom of the first inning. It's Notre Dame 1, Virginia Tech nothing. Back in just a moment here on 3304 Sports. It's a pitcher's duel here in Blacksburg as Notre Dame leads Tech 1-0. We begin the top half of the 5th inning here at Tech Softball Park. Again, I'm Shelton Moss alongside my partner Chris Longino with you here for 3304 Sports on a fairly chilly day in Blacksburg, Virginia.
You know, it's weird at the end of April. It was almost 2 days ago that it snowed down in here, so weather down here is very back and forth.
I feel like weather in Virginia is just bipolar regardless of where you are.
It's a weird area.
Leading off for Notre Dame, Alexis Holloway, the pitcher, trying to help out her own cause. First pitch, a called strike inside portion of the plate. Holloway struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. So this is her 2nd plate appearance. The 0-1 from Rochard. Bounces in the dirt, 1-1.
You know, Kelly Rochard, when she pitches that ball, it just makes you kind of stand back on the way she pitches. It's so fast.
Now with 67 pitches on the afternoon, pretty much par for the course. She is a big workhorse for this team. The 1-1, smacked foul into the netting behind home plate. Holloway, the senior out of Crown Point, Indiana. Again, performs well both on the mound, or excuse me, in the circle rather, and in the batter's box for this Notre Dame team. Very versatile player. She is the 7-hole hitter for this Notre Dame team. Here's a 1-2, and is going to be lined into left field past the sprawling shortstop, Cameron Fagan, and down for a base hit. So the 4th base hit of the contest for Notre Dame, and they get the leadoff hitter on to start the top of the 5th.
What an incredible hit in the left field from Alexis Holloway. As she got in the left field and got Virginia Tech moving there. Got to first base.
That'll bring up Chelsea Purcell, the shortstop. And she doubled actually to the wall back in the 2nd, although Notre Dame did strand runners at 2nd and 3rd in that frame. Looking to do some more damage. First pitch, and it is skied high, right behind home plate. Making the catch is Mackenzie Lauder. 1 pitch, 1 out, exactly what the doctor ordered for Rochard.
It was good. It was a good catch for the catcher for Virginia Tech there for Mackenzie Lauder to get that, gets him on a good thing for this inning. See if get him out and get him for the next inning to get some score on the board.
And with that, Notre Dame's 3rd base coach, I believe that's Coach Gumpf, will have a little chat with the umpire, home plate umpire. They're going to make some lineup changes, I would think. We might have a pinch hitter here. Try to get a number on it. That is number 4 for Notre Dame. That's going to be Quinn Biggio. Biggio making a pinch hitting appearance. 5'9" junior, the right-hander out of Houston, Texas, and St. Agnes Academy. I actually had her penciled in on my note cards before the game. Biggio is the daughter of former MLB Hall of Famer and Houston Astros legend Craig Biggio. Biggio is a 20-year veteran. Spent his entire career with the Houston Astros, set numerous Astros records. Really one of the most decorated players in recent MLB history. So she certainly comes from a long line of baseball talent. First pitch is just low to start off the count. And for Quinn, her brother Connor was Notre Dame class of 2015. Her other brother Kevin, who is currently completing his degree, both play baseball for Notre Dame. And Kevin is currently a member of the Toronto Blue Jays organization. Here's a 1-0, and it's tapped softly foul into the netting above the Notre Dame dugout over on the first base side.
You know, foul ball there, just getting out. See if she can hit it out into midfield. Keep the Hokies moving.
1 ball, 1 strike. The count, 1 out here. Top of the 5th. Runner at first is Alexis Holloway. Richard gets a sign. She circles, kicks, and delivers. It's a called strike. Outer half. A double play would certainly be ideal here. Here's the 1-2. Misses inside. Well, Notre Dame as a team averages a shade over 5 runs per game. Offensively hitting .302, .482 slugging percentage. They rank 40th in batting average, 90th in on base, and 47th in slugging. Also like to steal bases. Here's a ground ball. This could be 2. The third baseman, Bennett, throws to second, but it's off the glove of the second baseman, Addie Green. That's going to be an error on the Hokies, and what could have been 2 outs instead is 0 on the fielding error.
You know, just missing that could have been 2 good outs, and then could switch the inning, and Virginia Tech could have gotten Notre Dame out of the offense there, but just missed the ball, and now they've got 1 on base on both bases for second, third, or first.
The contingent of Notre Dame fans in attendance making some noise, cheering for their team. So now we've got runners at first and second with just 1 out. And that means more work for Kelly Richard. She could have gotten out of the inning, but Addie Green just not able to make the play. Second error of the day for the Hokies. So it would appear that Cassidy Grimm is the hitter. Actually, no, I think it's Abby Sweet. So back to the leadoff spot for Notre Dame, Abby Sweet. 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch, a called strike.
You know, she's been struggling at the beginning of this game, you know, the first few innings when she's hit, but, you know, hopefully she can change it here.
Richard a little bit more methodical in her approach now. Taking more time between pitches. The 0-1, again, misses inside.
You know, it seems like she's batting out for trying to get a far hit down the middle. We'll see if she does that.
And this is where it gets really tricky, facing the meat of that Notre Dame order. You would have preferred it so much if you could have gotten that double play, have those guys bat the next inning. But instead, you face 1, 2, 3, at least 1 and 2 for the time being in the order, with runners at first and second. Only 1 out. Here's the pitch, the 1-1, swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Had her all fooled up there, did Richard.
Kelly Richard, just incredible strike there. She just pitched it, and Abby Sweet just can't seem to get the hang of it today. She's not been hitting well.
Irish, as a team, 4 for 16. Good for a .250 average. Actually better than what Richard usually gives up, which is .137. Taking a long time to get the pitch in. She delivers the 1-2, and it is skied high, tailing foul. That'll get out of play just barely a few feet past the wall. Nice effort from Kelsey Brown, but it was out of her reach on the Tech bullpen.
Seems that Abby Sweet's trying to hit far here and just can't seem to manage it. There's a foul there in the far left there, outside of the field. Hopefully somebody got a good souvenir.
Well, given the way the game has gone, you would think at this point every insurance run that the Irish can get is so critical, especially the way the Hokies just aren't quite hitting the ball today for whatever reason. And we've seen that before. Tech just, can't really put a consistent effort all the time. They've won 3 out of 4 pretty much every series, but just haven't been able to really get a clean sweep. Not always consistent in their performances. The 1-2, it is lined, and that is down for a base hit into left field. Fielding the ball is Brown, and coming around to score on the play is going to be Alexis Holloway, helping her own cause. And the Irish, with that, get a big insurance run. They lead 2-0 on the RBI single from Abby Sweet.
The fact that Alexis Holloway that hustled there. Now Notre Dame has people on has 2 of their players on first and second. To get that 2-0 run was good for her. She rushed that. So
for Abby Sweet on the season, That'll be RBI number 20. And the pinch hitter, it would appear, for Notre Dame, it's going to be number 12. Again, number there, that is Macy Eck out of Andale, Kansas. Left-handed outfielder, the sophomore, standing at 5'8". First pitch, off the plate, 1-0. So Richard running into some trouble here in the top of the fifth. It's been quite a long inning. 81 pitches now for Keeley, 58 strikes. 5 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned, again because of the error. We've seen that a lot this season for Rochard. Seems like the only time she ever gives up a run if it's via an error.
Yeah. Well,
there's a 1-0 inside. Or no, strike called, excuse me.
Well, we see that Notre Dame is actually hitting very well today. They've been able to get in the outfield in the second and third, where they've been able to rotate players and get them runs, and they've been efficient. And despite Alexis Holloway not pitching the best, it's still to make up for their effort.
The 1-1 with 1 out to Eck. It's in there, strike 2 called.
Kelly Richard is pitching well. I just think in the outfield's missing some of those key balls and not catching them out. Missing them by a few inches is what's keeping the Virginia Tech Hokies down right now. Costly plays.
Could certainly use a big strikeout here. Here is the 1-2 from Richard. It's right down the middle, strike 3 called. For Richard, strikeout number 6 on the day, and she sets down the pinch hitter, Macy Eck.
You know, it was an interesting choice for Macy Eck to get in there. She's not part of usually the batting rotation.
That'll bring up Katie Marino. First pitch sails well in, as Lutter had to slide to her left to prevent that from getting to the backstop. Marino 0 for 1 with a run driven in, had that sac fly back in the first. .312 batting average on the year. Comes in with a 6-game hitting streak. Looking to make it 7, but this time she pops it high and in foul territory. Making the catch is the first baseman Bailey. In foul ground for the third and final out of the inning. So Keely Richard does give up a run, but she limits the damage to just 1. Notre Dame now with a 2-0 lead over Tech as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here from Tech Softball Park. Hokies with the top of their order set to bat here in the bottom of the 5th, looking to awaken the bats from a deep slumber as they've been held to just 2 hits on the afternoon and no runs, facing off against Alexis Holloway. Holloway now with 76 pitches on the afternoon, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, and again has not allowed the Hokies to cross the plate a single time so far. Leadoff hitter is Kelsey Brown.
Well, Alexis Holloway really hustled in that last inning to get that run for the Fighting Irish.
First pitch, a running, swinging strike. It's going to be fouled off behind our heads.
Thankfully, that did not hit us.
Now, we've actually got some pretty good protection here with the roof above our heads, kind of situated right to the right of home plate.
You know, we can see Alexis Holloway looking at her arm pad there, trying to see if she's doing it right.
And Brown will bunt it, fielded by the third baseman, the throw to first in time, just by a hair. Nice play there from Cassidy Grimm. Gets it over to Gins for out number 1. Good also from Brown, but just not able to get enough starch on that bunt.
Kelsey Brown getting out there by Cassidy Grimm. Cassidy Grimm really hustled there and got that out, and Fighting Irish got that thing.
So Cameron Fagan steps up to the plate. 1 gone here, bottom 5. She was out on actually reached on a fielder's choice back in the third inning, rather. Had a single in the first. So 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch called strike. This one is going to be grounded to the third baseman. Again, it's Grimm. And again, she makes a nice play as she gets it over in time for the second out, retiring Fagan. So 2 putouts in this inning, both off very solid defensive plays from the third baseman, Cassidy Grimm.
The defense for the Fighting Irish have been doing very well against the Virginia Tech Hokies. You know, it seems that even though Peter DeMore is a new coach, we don't know if history's going to repeat because Notre Dame seems to be dominating this game so far, being 2-0.
So Kenny Davis comes in, and she will smack the first one foul down the left field line. So again, Hokies going pretty quickly here. Really just not working many at-bats. Still trying to figure out Holloway. Again, coming to this game, we knew that Holloway was a very good pitcher, but it wasn't like her numbers were, super dominant. It's certainly not the extent that Rochard's were. Came with a 2.62 ERA.
Well, I mean, they even try to have a strategy where they could try to get 4 balls and get to first base, and it was working for a bit, and they just haven't been able to hit far because every time they hit far, either into middle field or left field, it gets out from the Notre Dame there.
1-1 is the count. Last pitch was missing off the plate. Here's the offering, and it's grounded on one hop. A nice scoop by Chelsea Purcell over there at shortstop, and she fires over to Gins in time for the third out. Some flashing of the leather from Notre Dame here in the bottom of the fifth. 3 good defensive plays get them to the top half of the sixth. When we come back, Hokies still trying to keep this game 2-0, and Notre Dame keeping the Hokies bats in order. Back in a moment here on 3304 Sports. Corinne Gaskin will lead things off for Notre Dame as we begin the road half of the 6th inning. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error so far for the Irish. For the Hokies, no runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. Both of Notre Dame's runs have been unearned due to those Hokie miscues in the field of play. Rochard sets and delivers the first pitch. It sails high, ball 1.
Well, let's see if Virginia Tech can get Notre Dame's offense off the field, because last inning they went 0 for 3 in terms of batting. It was not good for the Virginia Tech Hokies.
The 1-0 pitch from Rochard. This time it finds a zone. Rochard with pretty solid command numbers. Only 1 walk compared to 6 strikeouts. Really, that hasn't been the issue. It's just been the defense, quite honestly. The 1-1 misses off the plate. Gaskin's over 2 with 2 strikeouts, both swinging. 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth. And she swings and misses right there, make it a 1-2 count, or 2-2 count. Gaskin's leading the team with 8 home runs. Homer in her last game against UVA. 2019 and 2020 New Jersey Gatorade Player of the Year out of Edison, New Jersey, the freshman. 2-2, swing and a miss on a ball tailing in, and that's another strikeout for Keeley, her 7th today. That'll bring up Leah Hanks, the left fielder, who is 0 for 2. And she was actually retired on that very fluky ground ball back in the fourth that ricocheted off the leg of Rochard over to the third baseman Bennett. He was able to make the play in time. Thought for a second Keeley might have been hurt. First pitch called strike. But she was okay, and she's been able to stay in this game and pitch very well.
You know, Leah Hanks has done very well this season, as she's had 14 RBIs and 1 home run.
Here's the 0-1. Another called strike. As Hanks had a bunt attempt going, but she decided to hold back. It was irrelevant anyway. Called strike 2.
Well, we can see Kayla Rochard starting to pick it up with her pitches there, trying to faster, trying to get the Hokies on the field.
The 0-2. Called strike 3 right down the middle. So 2 strikeouts to start this inning as she sets down Gaskins first, and then Hanks for out number 2.
Like I said, Kayla Rochard trying to pick it up, trying to pitch faster, getting over that injury from earlier from her leg. Just trying to get them out.
Sarah Gins is the first baseman. She hits with nobody aboard, 2 out here, top of the 6th. Had a single in the second and struck out swinging in the 4th. And she will Sky one deep to center field. Ranging over to her right is the center fielder, Darby Troll. She makes the easy catch for out number 3 and a very, very quick top of the 6th for Keely Rochard. Hokies looking to get the bats going. They've got to do so quickly if they want to come back and have a chance to win this ball game. We will get you the bottom of the 6th in just a moment here from Tech Softball Park. Well, the Virginia Tech Hokies have not scored a run so far in this game. They are trying to change that here as we start the home half of the 6th. Jamie Bailey, who is 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, will lead things off for the Hokies. Again, Alexis Holloway still on the mound, the right-hander for Notre Dame. 83 pitches, 47 strikes, 5 strikeouts to 4 walks, and only 2 hits allowed. She's been spectacular the entire day. And she did have 3 walks back in that 5th inning. First pitch to Bailey, sails in the zone, strike 1 called. Again, getting ahead of the hitter, so important. First pitch strikes. Bailey, a .330 hitter on the year.
Well, we see that Alexa Holloway's had a very good game today, and just she's done a very good job in maintaining herself.
Next pitch, on an excuse me swing, it finds the zone anyway. Strike 2 called. Bailey had a really impressive performance against Georgia Tech on Sunday. 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in, had a double and a homer. And career right around a .380 batting average. That's second all-time at Virginia Tech. Been with the team now for 3 years. Here's the 0-2. It's tapped softly over to third base side. That'll get foul as it is fielded by Cassie Grimm over there at third in foul territory.
It was a very close debate between being a foul and actual hit there. Sarah Gins was really eager to get on the base. Switching bats here to see if she can see hit differently.
Bailey, the right-hander in the box. Again, it's pretty rare that you see Bailey, a talented hitter, as much as her, go 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
The 0-2 again tapped softly. Grimm has it. Fields quickly over to first in time. Throw was a bit off the mark as first baseman Sarah Gins had to stretch out to her right to get that one, but she does so in time. And it's a 3-pitch out for Alexis Holloway to start this bottom of the 6th.
Yeah. We see Alexis Holloway over and over pitch very well this game, even having the best hitters like Jane Bailey not be able to hit, and she hasn't really hit well at all today.
Kelsey Bennett now the batter. Bennett, again, a rare 0 for 2. First one tapped foul. Well, she's trying to extend her streak of reaching base to 7 games. You'd think that she'd probably have to get a base knock or a walk here to extend that streak, given that it's so late in the game. Now coming in, she had homered and had 2 hits in each of her last 2 games played, both against Georgia Tech. Next one bounces in, ball 1. So over the course of those last 2 games, 7 total runs batted in, and both of the homers were of 3-run variety. So really coming in clutch with the hits. Preseason All-ACC was Kelsey Bennett. Next offering, and Bennett swings and sends a fly ball to right center field. Making the catch after taking a few paces to her right is Abby Sweet, and she has it for out number 2.
Yeah, we see Alexa Holloway just pitching consistently good throughout this game, and we've seen that routinely just with an inning in and out, and we just see the Hokies keep getting out, and these last 2 innings have been very quick, whereas the fifth inning for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish was really long, as they had 2 people on base, and they had Alexis Holloway get a run.
So Morgan Overatis, left-handed infielder sophomore out of Canton, Michigan, will pinch it here for Addie Green. So that'll close the book on Green, who went 0 for 1 with a walk, caught stealing back in the 4th.
Morgan Overatis was a 4-time Letterman, 4-time All-State, first team at Salem High School when she was under top.
First pitch bounces in the dirt off the plate. And she actually took over at second base, Overatis did, for Addie Green earlier in the season due to an injury. But Green now healthy, back in the lineup. So she is the primary second baseman for Tech, and Overatis getting another pinch hitting appearance on the season. Morgan is hitting .273, making her 24th appearance of the year. The next pitch just floated in there. That was pretty slow. Found the zone, 1-1. Overratis has started 18 games, 15 for 55 on the season, slugging a pretty solid .509, mainly due to her 4 doubles and 3 homers. So when she gets a hit, it's usually for extra bases. Next pitch, swing and a miss on a ball outside. Down the count, 1-2.
You know, just that swing there and just trying to get it out into outfield and couldn't do it.
Next pitch just misses. Inside 2-2 now to Overratis as the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Notre Dame leading 2-0.
You know, we see that the Fighting Irish, they have just such a prestigious program. New thing about them, they've had 23 players in program history to earn all-conference or pitcher player of the year.
This one is lofted right our way, and it'll bounce a few rows down below us. Foul ball that almost came our way, so I feel like we kind of mentioned earlier. Felt like we might get some foul balls come our way, and we did.
Yes, we've had a few today, you know, coming from behind. Thankfully, we are protected, and we are a little bit further behind where we are not in the danger zone. Always have to be careful, those.
Here's a 2-2 from Holloway. It's tapped on a one-hopper. She fields it going back and flips over to first base. Well in time for the out. Hokies once again set down in order. They go quickly in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah.
They have just 3 outs to work with, but first they've got to hold Notre Dame here in the top of the 7th as we transition over to Chris Longino on play-by-play. Back in a moment here from Tech Softball Park. Alexis Holloway, the pitcher, gets things started off for Notre Dame as we go top 7 here from Tech Softball Park. It's been a pitcher's duel the entire way out. Kelly Richard still on the mound for Tech. First pitch to her fellow pitching counterpart is going to be swung on, a soft roller to third base. Making the play and throwing over to first in time for the out is Kelsey Bennett. So Holloway sat down on just 1 pitch, which I'm sure if you ask her, she's probably not too concerned about because she wants to go back in the dugout and get ready to pitch this final frame upcoming in the bottom of the 7th. Yeah. That'll bring up Chelsea Purcell.
Well, Alexis Holloway is almost like a dual threat. She's hit very well today. She's gotten a run, and she's pitched quite incredible against Virginia Tech, keeping their better batters like Jane Bailey from really doing anything. First pitch to Chelsea Purcell, called strike. Purcell on the afternoon, 1 for 2, had a double back in the 2nd inning. She was stranded at second. Really just roped a ball off the wall. Over in left center. The 0-1 from Rochard delivers, and the ball is swung on and lofted into the seats. That'll be foul. Makes a big thud. And just another souvenir for the fans. Just for a little boy over there to play with. Yeah, unfortunately the policy here is you got to give the balls back, which I can certainly understand, but kind of makes that's just the way it goes. It's at least nice to, have that feeling of getting the ball and being the first one to touch it. Give it back to the usher. Yeah. Here's the 0-2 from Rochard. She kicks and delivers and misses low. Rochard is pitching well today, but just outfield. Maybe that injury has, gotten her leg from earlier today. Well, it's a good point you bring up. You wonder if that's starting to get a little bit sore right now. Again, we don't anticipate her to pitch the 2nd game of this doubleheader. The 0-2 to Purcell. It's swung on and hit right up the middle for a base hit, a seeing-eye single for Chelsea Purcell, her 2nd hit of the contest. Well, it's that routine of the outfield not being able to get either on the pitches correctly, dropping balls, and that just is killing the Virginia Tech Hokies right now as it is just not going well for them. So Quinn Biggio, actually, beg your pardon, I think this is Cassidy Grimm up to bat. First pitch called strike as over at first. Chelsea Purcell acted like she was going for a second, decided to trot back. Yeah, anticipated there. So Cassidy Grimm is a hitter, by the way. She was actually pinch hit for in the previous inning in favor of Quinn Biggio, but she's back in the lineup now. 0 for 1 today, and the next pitch plunks her. So she is hit
No, actually, what's the call here? Umpire says, yep, she did get hit by the pitch, and
we see
they're going to call her back. I beg your pardon. So I think they're calling her back here. I think the call was that she leaned into the pitch.
Yeah, we see the fans contesting that, getting really into the game here.
Or it might have been a foul ball. Now, either way, the umpire says that Grimm has to come back, so she was not hit by the pitch. I think they're calling it a foul ball, as she was attempting to bunt on the play, but I think it hit the knob of her bat.
Well, the thing is, she stepped forward past the base, and that's the reason why that they're calling it back.
So it's going to be, well, the count was 0-1 before that pitch, so it should be 0-2 now after the foul ball. So right back to square one. And runner at first is Purcell. Third baseman Grimm. At the plate, 0-2 with one out, top of the seventh. Irish lead Hokies 2-0. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed on a high fastball, and set down swinging is Cassidy Grimm. For Keely Rochard, that's her 9th strikeout of the afternoon.
Well, with it being her 9th strikeout of the afternoon, going 9-0 there, she can pick it up, keep the Hokies, get in the last inning, and make it 3-2 and maybe win this game.
Priority number one right now for Rochard. Get her team back in the dugout with the score as it is right now, 2-0. 6 hits so far for the Irish, 1 error. Hokies only have 2 hits and 2 errors, both of which led indirectly to Notre Dame runs. And the first offering to the leadoff hitter, Abby Sweet, is well high, ball 1.
We could tell Kelsey Purcell there was trying to steal the base, maybe, potentially. Was trying to lead on there.
Abby Sweet at the dish. And she is going to smack one down for a base hit into left field. It gets into the corner. Fielded is the left fielder, Kelsey Brown. She gets it in quickly, holding the runner. That was Purcell at third base. It is a stand-up double for Abby Sweet, checking in with another extra base hit. Runners now at second and third with just 2 outs. And Notre Dame potentially hoping to strike for some much-needed insurance runs.
It's them hitting the outfield that routinely is killing the Hokies right now. It just keeps happening from left to middle to right and just keeps killing them.
That'll bring up Macy Eck, who is into the game in right field in place of Emma Clark, who started the day over in right. First pitch fouled off the screen. Well, obviously, if you're Rochard, you really need to get out of this inning only with your team down 2-0. Hokies infielders playing in, especially the corner infielders.
With Notre Dame having people on base, the second and third base, keeps them at a disadvantage. So Kelly Rochard really needs to get them out.
Here's the 0-1. It's low. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hokies, if you're curious, have 7, 8, 9 due up in the bottom of the 7th. That would be Lauder, Ritter, and Darby Troll. Here's the pitch. Unable to find the zone is Rochard as the pitch stayed high. She was looking for that high strike call, was not able to get it. 2-1 now. Macy Eck on the season for Notre Dame. Only 14 at-bats, hitting 143. 1 walk, hit by a pitch twice, 6 strikeouts. The pitch, it's going to be lofted high and foul right above us. And it bounces over the roofing of the press box here at Tech Softball Park and out of play.
Thank God we had that protection because we would have been hit there.
I was about to say, we are really perched in a pretty adequate space for avoiding foul balls. Got the roof above our heads, rail in front of us, and, of course, the screen behind home plate. So now, if it had come our way, I would have caught it.
Yeah.
2-2 the count, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Rochard looking to get out of a bit of a pickle. Macy Eck is the hitter. Sophomore out of Andale, Kansas. Sees the pitch. It's low, ball 3. Now, if you load the bases here, that's asking for trouble because you got Katie Marino on deck and Gaskins in the hole, arguably two of Notre Dame's top 3 hitters. Here's the payoff pitch to Macy Eck. Rochard kicks and delivers, swing and a miss on the off speed, and she sets down Eck for strikeout number 10 on the day. A spectacular performance from Keely Rochard. She didn't really get the defensive help she needed, but she will keep her team in this contest. Hokies with 7-8-9 coming up in the bottom of the 7th, hoping for some late game offensive action. Back in just a moment here on 3304 Sports. Hokies start this bottom of the 7th inning needing 2 runs, and they need them quickly. As Mackenzie Lauder lead things off in the bottom of this 7th inning, it's Lauder, Emma Ritter, and Meredith Slaw. 7-8-9 the do-ups for Virginia Tech. So Lauder on the day 0 for 1, batting .277.
We can see that the Virginia Tech Hokie fans are very excited for this game. We can hear them all around us.
Lauder, a preseason All-ACC team selection. First pitch is high, ball 1. Now she leads the team in on-base percentage at .500, so reaching base in exactly half of her plate appearances, and really the main reason for that is her 17 walks, by far the most on the team. Next closest is Kelsey Bennett with 11. She has dealt with some injuries this year, injured her hand sliding into a bag in the NC State series, so she missed some time after that, but she's back in the lineup now. Next offering, this one is low. It's 2-0 as Holloway falls behind.
Holloway just pitching incredible today. Just continuously pounding at the Virginia Tech Hokies and just hitting even at the better hitters. They just haven't done well.
Lauder, a season ago, started all 25 games played, hit .385 as a sophomore. This one is tailing down in the dirt. It's 3-0. So this is not what you wanted to see if you're Coach Gumpf and company. Falling behind the leadoff hitter 3-0. And again, you don't want to get back around to the top of the Hokies order if you are Notre Dame, of course, because we know the big guns that can come up. Here's the 3-0, and it is evidently on the outer half of the zone. I thought that was off the plate, but home plate umpire called it a strike, and it's 3-1.
Close calls like that make the difference, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter about the close calls. It matters what you do in between innings, and Virginia Tech has routinely out in the outfield has not done well stopping it, so that's why they're down 2-0.
The 3-1 from Holloway. It finds the plate, strike 2. So now she battles back to make it a full count. Well, Holloway, if you could nitpick any part of her performance, she has struggled a bit with command, has 4 walks on the day, thrown 101 pitches, but only 59 have been for strikes.
Yeah. Well, earlier they're playing a strategy of trying to do that to her.
Here's the 3-2. It's swung on, hit right up the middle, and off the glove of the diving shortstop. That is Chelsea Purcell over there at short. Reaching with a base knock is Mackenzie Lauder, so mission accomplished for the first part of this inning. You got the leadoff hitter on, and now you want to see the 8 and 9 hitters do some work.
Well, that was an incredible hit there as it went straight down the field, and now he gets to first base. Maybe Virginia Tech can take this momentum and get into the next rotation and do well with the next batting. They can get somebody on the second, third, and then maybe get some runs here and win this game 3-2.
Only the 3rd hit of the day for a Virginia Tech team that on the season has a .312 batting average. That ranks 27th nationally and 1st in the ACC. So when you take into account the quality of this Virginia Tech lineup, it makes Holloway's performance even more impressive. So Alexa Milius is the hitter. She is pinch hitting in favor of the right fielder Emma Ritter, 291 hitter on the season. First pitch misses low.
I wonder if Pete DeMoore is starting to think of a strategy to put his non-starters, give them some playing time, and maybe looking for the second game to keep them for his rotation, maybe change things up to put his non-starters in a little different.
Milius has 16 hits and 55 at-bats this year, slugging .509. Next offering, just off the plate. That was very close. Now looking at Notre Dame's stats this year, really it's Holloway and Peyton Tidd, who we would anticipate will start the second game of this doubleheader. Those 2 pitchers are really the workhorses for this staff. Only 4 pitchers have appeared this season for Notre Dame. Here's the 2-0. It's in the dirt, and it's 3-0. So flying behind again for the second consecutive at-bat. Hokies work a 3-0 count. Now, the only other pitchers that have appeared for Notre Dame this year, Morgan Ryan has pitched 25 innings, made 15 appearances, and Molly Carney has only made 1 appearance. And this one misses inside. A 4-pitch walk to Alexa Milius, and right now, Chris, Hokies has something going here.
Well, I wonder if Peter DeMore told his players that let's do the strategy of earlier, getting that 4-ball count and getting on the first base. And we're not hitting well today, so let's try and do what we did earlier between the second and third inning and get some players on the mound. And it seems to be working. So if you have a player on first and second base, and if they use that and start hitting well, then maybe the momentum can change because you just need one more person. And if you get a far outfield, you can get a tied game.
So Emma Ritter is actually going to come in to pinch run essentially for herself after Milius drew that walk. So nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Again, Hokies trailing Notre Dame 2-0. The runner at second is Lauder, and the runner at first is the pinch hitter Emma Ritter. Fans are making some noise here as the wind picks up at Tech Softball Park. Back to, at the bottom of the order, it's Darby Trull. First pitch misses off the plate. Now, you would think if Holloway gets into more trouble here, the go-to pitcher would be Morgan Ryan, who has, as we mentioned, made 15 appearances, 1.96 ERA in 25 innings. She does have a save to her name, and she has started twice this season. So you would think that she's probably the safety valve for this team.
Yeah. Well, Darby Troll, she started and played in 23 games so far, and she went 1 for 1, 2 runs, scored in the win over against George Mason. So she's done well this season, and having 15 RBIs, it really shows. And just trying to change it up, and maybe she can get the momentum with Virginia Tech Hokies and get a hit here.
Showing bunt in the last pitch, 1-1. Now she bunts it. It gets it down, and they'll go over to first. That's the only play. That's Holloway throws against in time, and Darby Trull does exactly what she was put in the game to do. Gets down the sacrifice bunt, and now runners at second and third as advancing is Lauder and Ritter.
Well, if they get another 4-ball here, they can get someone on first, and they can really move it, and then they can start to hit it. Now they have Kelsey Brown here, who has 14 RBIs, and if they can get get it down to Jane Bailey or Kelsey Bennett, then they would really be hitting off here, but we'll see.
So Kelsey Brown is the next hope for Virginia Tech. Back to the top of the order. First pitch, she swings, and did she go around? She did. She was trying to hold up there, but she went around at the last minute in the opinion of the third base umpire.
Well, we can see the fans really contesting that last pitch there. Not very happy, getting very into it.
Here's the 0-1. It's tapped to the shortstop. She makes the play. Fields fires over to first in time for the out. The Hokies score a run. It will be an RBI ground out for Kelsey Brown. Coming in to score is the runner Lauder. So it is a 2-1 game now with 2 outs in the inning. Give an RBI to Kelsey Brown.
Kelsey Brown, incredible job there now on the pitch mirror. And we can see that Peter DeMore maybe, putting a strategy for his players to use. And it seems to be working. That sacrifice of that one bunt really got him to 3-2. Now it's 2-1 with a run there.
So Ritter advances to third. Here's the pitch. It's lofted into center field, and making the catch for the third and final out of the inning is Abby Sweet, and Notre Dame survives the first game of this series against Virginia Tech. They come into Blacksburg to take the first game at 2-1, the final score in favor of the Irish. Well, the Hokies really just couldn't get the bats going today, but Chris, the story of the day, obviously Alexis Holloway really set down this Virginia Tech lineup the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, she's done an incredible job with her pitching, everything she did. I mean, she's like a dual threat where she got a hit, she got an RBI, and she was pitching well. I mean, besides getting balls to the first, she did well besides that, and she did an incredible job today, and really shows from it. Too bad for Keely Richard. She did an incredible job pitching today, but it was just the outfield for Virginia Tech that was killing them. And that last inning there, it's just a game. Didn't do well. It's 7 innings at the end of the day, and they didn't do well.
Final line on Alexis Holloway, 7 innings. She earns the win. 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts in 112 pitches total. And for Keely Richard, a tough luck loss, 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs, although neither was earned, both due to errors made by Tech in the field of play. 10 strikeouts and 1 walk, 111 pitches on the day. Notre Dame got RBIs from Abby Sweet. That was back in the 5th inning, and from Katie Marino in the 1st on that sacrifice fly. So a low-scoring game. Again, Notre Dame comes up with this one. They win the contest 2-1, and with the win, they improve to 23-12 overall, 14-10 in the ACC. Tech, with the loss, falls to 28-8 overall and 19-8 in league play. So we'll get you back in about 30 to 40 minutes for the second game of this 2-game doubleheader. And for now, signing off once again, the final score, Notre Dame 2, Virginia Tech 1. So long for just a while for 3304 Sports.